Welcome, everyone, to the finish line of Stage 6 of the 6th edition of the Rebelle Rally, presented by Lexus. Your live show is presented by Lexus. My name is Rochelle Croft. I am here with Matthew Johnson. How's it going?
It's great. I just love the drone footage of we're here. We made it. We all made it to Glamis.
We made it to Glamis.
The first part is to make it this far in the event, and the next part is to make it through tomorrow, right?
Yes, and I feel like the staff already, even just getting here, we're all just letting down. We made it. We've done our own rally. I always heard you guys talk about that, and now I understand why.
Now it makes more sense.
It makes more sense.
Yeah,
now.
You're like, wait a second. You guys weren't competing.
Yeah, you weren't competing.
Yeah,
I was
we
on
were
a rally.
surviving is what we were doing. Hi, Nathan. Thanks for your help there.
Thanks, Nathan.
Okay. So we're looking at the finish line. Looking at Rivian on the finish line, Emmy and Becca. I talked to Becca earlier today, and she gave me a quick update about the suspension on that Rivian. After they had some pinched lines from day one, it never really got completely fixed.
Okay.
Partially because of the wind and the weather chaos. It got completely fixed last night, and those girls were on a mission today.
You could tell in the scoring. All of a sudden, I was watching the scores. I was like, whoa, where did they come from?
Totally.
They're nailing every single checkpoint.
That's what I'm used to seeing from them.
Yes,
usually they're right
absolutely.
up there as
I've been waiting
day
for that.
winners or close to being a day winner or winning days every day for the last 4 years.
Yes.
So not seeing that was like, well, what's going on? And so they were taking it easy because there was another part that didn't get replaced. But luckily last night the time was available. The weather was available, right, to do the part, the fix correctly. So they were jamming today.
They were, and they just pulled into base camp. There's only a few teams here right now. It was a really long transit day. I think a lot of the teams, you were saying you were out there today doing a live hit in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You heard them say the course was pretty rough today.
It was, all of them said it was bumpy. You
Yeah.
couldn't go any speed or drive any line for it not to be bumpy.
Oof.
And
That's a
I
long
forgot
day.
who it was that said, it was classic Emily. You know, classic Emily. There was something interesting out here in the desert. And then when we saw a shack, we figured that must be the interesting thing Emily was going to talk about later, and thought it was worth sitting us over all these bumps to see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just, I don't know if that's true or not. It's just funny that they had concocted this story because of, for driving over all the bumps this morning.
Yeah. Looks like one more team is pulled in there. So I think tonight, we're starting a little bit later. Thank you so much for waiting with us. It has been a marathon stage for all of us here as well. We're up and running, and all of those girls are going to start trickling in. You're going to see that finish line fill up behind us. I think they're going to be stacked clear to the road.
It's going to get
here
slammed.
pretty soon. Yeah, it's going to be slammed.
And given how compacted it's going to get, I think we should get you out of the chair and in some windows.
I like it.
Just hearing from, I got to talk to a lot of them today. And so obviously we've got a few things to cover, and there's not that many cars here yet, but I think it's going to be really cool. We're going to let Rochelle just bounce out and bounce around. I got to talk to teams today, but she'll get to cover them here this evening. Love to look at stage. We've got a bit of a tracker from stage 6 here today. We can see some of our Pac-Man squares, which really, let's be clear, the colors you see moving around are updates from the YB Races trackers, the yellow brick trackers that are in the vehicles. And those vehicles, those trackers are hitting the Iridium network, talking to those satellites, and that's how this tracking works. So we could see the different path there for several different vehicles. The ones that are going straight down, that appear to be going straight down, that's the four-wheel drive route. And one of the crossovers I spoke to earlier took that four-wheel drive route. Now that they're heading diagonally down to the right, that was another route where the X checkpoint route was pretty similar. It's just not really shown there in the deviation. When they wiggle back left, that's when they chatted with me midday. And then this long pull through Blythe, California on the way south is what they've just finished as they showed up in the south end of Glamis and have worked their way back north here. There you see some working their way back up Wash Road there, working their way back north here to the finish line for stage 6.
Yes, it was a long day. There they come. All of our rebels on the way. They are going to love base camp tonight. It's so fun seeing all of the cars move around on that tracker. It's really cool. It's a So if you just hit that little dial underneath, fast forward, slow down, back and forth,
Yes.
you can kind of see their lines and the choices they were making today. It's a really good visual to see what their progress was.
That YB Races app is really funny because it has lots of options that aren't super clear the first time you use it. You can click at the bottom and hit teams, and then scroll down and pick your team, click I for info, and then at the top again it says on map, and you can hit on map and see exactly where your team is. Hopefully you figured that out by now if you've been using the app all week. But yeah, it takes a little bit of experience poking around on there to find what you're hunting.
Yeah, I really liked, as we drove from our last base camp down to Glamis today, I really liked coming in this way into the dunes. I don't think I've ever done that before. We usually drive through Joshua Tree. Well, we hit Salton Sea, Joshua Tree, and then we take this really cool wash.
That
paved
cool
road
wash. That's such a
through the
massive wash with those big cliffs on each side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is cool. So I really enjoyed coming in from the north side of the dunes. It was a really fun drive today.
I see the Benzies there on camera. They are back here. I chatted with them as well today. Chatted with the Benzies. They were in a great mood.
Awesome.
Emily bounced out, chatted with me. I looked over at Chris and then looked back at Emily and said, "What's that face on your mom telling me right now?" She was like, "We got to go."
I love that.
Was
they
great.
know. They've got the body language down.
It was great. We have some B-roll here to show you.
Okay, so they had an on-road enduro today, I believe. So we've got a little B-roll of this going on.
This looks like some beautiful Maddie B. That's Matthew Baker footage. I could be wrong. It could be some Jeff. I don't know Jeff's last name. Look, suffice to say, we did not find some camera guys because they slept at Best Western last night. We have some super talented folks that have traveled the world practicing their trade of getting just clever footage and just making it look so beautiful. And we have a whole RV full of editors here helping us out.
Takes a village.
It does take a village. That's a good way to say it.
Okay, so this is an on-road enduro, I believe. So there you have Nina and Tara Lynn, our top team there, top scoring team right now for 4x4 class. They have received their road book, got their tracker. They all click into that green CP, and then the navigator and the driver look at those instructions and follow the tulips to each waypoint.
Maria guitar. She's so good. And that smile, I love it. I don't know, when she does that smile, I feel like little, I don't know, teddy bears or weird, little icons should just flash out or something. She's great.
Yeah.
She does that.
Another thing I love about Maria is you never know what she's going to say. Right?
Yeah.
You'll ask a very basic question and she'll get a little smirk on her face.
Yeah.
And then she'll come out with something just hilarious.
I met Maria's husband used to do performance rallying, and I was at the same place she was several years ago. But in training, she was there. We got to spend some time just connecting over dinner one night out in the desert over a Rebelle training. Ooh, that's a lot of talk. It was just really fun chatting with her. She was still in the corporate world. She was still working for Honda in the corporate world, and she was telling me about how she's ready for a change. And just hearing her go through all the things that were in her mind was just really fun. And I love having Maria guitar here on the rally.
She is great. So you see them there in that Jeep. They're making a plan for how they're going to attack those different waypoints. Another team clicking in there. That's Fisher and Cora in the crossover class. I just lost.
Yeah, Melissa Fisher and Cora Jokinen, and they're, I think, maybe still leading the crossover class, the X-Cross class. The X-Cross class is really shaping up to be quite a battle here in the last couple days. Verena May and Tana White are a close second, easy striking distance for winning X-Cross. And then third place, our late bloomers, year after year, our late bloomers, in another identical Kia to the one that Verena and Tana are in. Has still a chance to win this thing. So
yep.
Even though Melissa and Cora are in the vehicle that won X-Cross last year, they're going to have some competition ahead of them tomorrow from those pair of Kias.
Yes, Alyssa and Sabrina always. And I think last year they had a really high scoring dune day in Glamis last year.
It was
So,
like, where have you guys been
Yeah.
all week? Why didn't you do this all week?
yeah. Yes, so they are definitely going to be a team to watch tomorrow. The crossover class battle is getting pretty tight. It's been a really interesting thing to watch this year.
I'd like to share what Melissa told me. She says, in my four-wheel drive, often I was a little bored some days because the challenge wasn't that challenging to drive. And she says, in this crossover, what we're doing is like, it's an adventure. It's tough. Like, we're not sure we're going to make it through, and it takes all my focus to get this crossover vehicle through the course. Speaking of, there's the Mitsubishi Team 207.
Yes, with Sammy, their lovely dog, Aaron and Selena. Man, it's so fun to watch them out there working that dog.
I had a great chat with them today.
I bet those teams are so happy to see base camp tonight.
Goodness. All right, let's check some scores out here on the monitor. And so today, remember, we split. So essentially, in the Rebelle, you can't follow another team. And the way we handle that is we split the teams up into groups. So inside the group A of 4x4 for day 6, we can see that
it's
happened. It's happened.
Pulled it
yeah,
out of
Holland Donaghy
nowhere.
there. That's
I'm very
Emmy and
excited about
Becca that
that.
we've been talking about
1
in the
point.
Rivian. We said it could happen if they got both of those Black Diamond checkpoints, and they did. And so they've won the day by a point. That's the sort of performance we're used to seeing from Becca, Becca and Emmy. So really cool. I mean, it's been. I mean, really, Nina and Tara Lynn have been on a tear all week. They've been pretty untouchable all week.
They have been untouchable. There's quite the spread. I believe last I checked it was between, I'm going to have to go check again. It was between 50 and 60 points.
Yeah, so
But
beating
again,
them by a point's not going to
yes.
do it.
But at least they won the stage, which is pretty exciting because I know they fought hard for that today.
They did, and they were pleased to tell me that everything on the Rivian was working correctly today, so they were able to focus, not put too much concern about the vehicle, and just focus and get down to business. Laura and Maria, we were just chatting about Maria. Laura and Maria, they're in third today with 182, not far off. That's 6 points off second place.
Yeah.
And only 2 points behind that, the Benzies.
The Benzies. Man, this is why if you are serious about winning this competition, this starts on day 1. Because if you saw here, there's different people that have won different stages through this rally, different days. But having that point spread and having that little bit of cushion that Tara Lynn and Nina have kept them in the top running with a little less pressure tomorrow.
I'll say, if any of you are just tuning in here late in the week, you might ask, well, how would Rochelle know so much about winning? Well, because she did win. She won in 2019.
I did.
And was second last year in 2020.
It was a lot of fun. It's a little stressful. So I can only imagine, especially when you're holding that high performance all week, that Tara Lynn and Nina are probably feeling the pressure as they go into Dune Day tomorrow.
I'll say it. So I'm going to finish up these scores, and let's have you head out to the line. I'm going to throw to you in just a minute.
Let's do it.
All right, let's quickly look at 4x4 Group B. We're just getting covered up in cars here. We want to make sure we bring you some quick interviews and just get you some of these drivers' faces. Right there, Honstead and Mason, 176 car, 149, 92% of the points available today. Bondurant, Rynant, we're just looking down the list here. Hopefully, you're seeing your team you're following there. We've had a lot of good performances of 4x4 in Group B there. Let's look at X-Cross really quick here for day 6. Hey, remember, we're looking at day 6, by the way. If you look at standings, you'll see where people are overall. So the person you're following might not be doing terribly well on day 6, but they might still be ranking quite high in the standings overall. So here on day 6, Melissa Fisher and Cora, they've done it again, 182 points. They've won the day by 9 points. Verena May and Tana, they're second. And here, I want to point something out. If you look 2 lines down and look all the way over, look at checkpoint 15 and 16. 15 and 16 do not show points yet for Verena and Sabrina. Verena, Tana, Sabrina, and Alyssa, you get the point. There's no points in for the 2 Kia teams. or our rookie team further down. So anyway, keep your eyes open. The points are not done yet. These are still provisional for day 6. So as I said, that was a quick look at the points. It's a lot for me to like shove into the microphone. It's probably a lot for you to listen to as well. What we're doing right now, as you can see, the lights, the light fading in the sky in the background of just beautiful Glamis sand dunes. These are the Imperial sand dunes. We've got a lineup of cars coming in, and we want to get Rochelle in those windows and chatting with those teams. I think they're going to tell me any moment that Rochelle will be ready, and we're going to go to Rochelle and bring you some stories from the day. The day was a long day. It was a bumpy day, and Rochelle, yeah, I totally got you. Let's hear from Rochelle. What do you got?
Okay, thank you, Matthew and team. I have the lovely Team 106, Sedona and Lynn with Team Wild Grace in the lovely Nissan Frontier. How was your day today, ladies?
It was a stellar day. It was stellar. Yeah, it was really good. And we ended it just nicely with a really fun, random thing that just happened.
That enduro was definitely different. But as we remarked, as we were popping out of it, we learned some things in the evening. We really enjoyed that. We didn't get stuck, and we're super happy that we have all these Nismo lights on our truck because it's getting a little dark out there.
I love it. What was your biggest win for the day from, I'm guessing, maybe what you learned?
I've got a different win than she does. My win is the tires. I didn't have to change a tire today. I haven't had to change a tire, and there was some really, really rough stuff out there. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
My win was this last enduro, learning some new things, really taking all the things that they work so hard to create for us and actually embrace it and go for it. It was really fun.
I love it. Well, thank you, ladies. How are you feeling tomorrow, headed into Dune Day? I know that the dunes are always a big thing. How are you feeling?
I really treat the dunes like a separate part of the rally. Like the first 6 days is very different, and I treat the dunes going into it with a heavy amount of respect and just take it checkpoint by checkpoint and just bite sizes.
Yeah, I think we're ready. We spent some time in the dunes probably about a month before just to train and to kind of get comfortable, and we're just going to go out there. We're going to have some fun. We're going to stay nice and relaxed. We're gonna stay nice and smooth, and we're gonna be nice and accurate.
I love it. Well, we will all be watching you. I am so excited to watch you girls go out there and crush in the dunes. Have an amazing night. Base camp looks amazing. Stephanie did a fantastic job in there, and we will see you later.
Thank you. Thanks so much, and we just want to shout out to all of our peeps out there. We love you guys, and we've been thinking about you, and we know that you're supporting us and rooting us on, and we're super stoked. So we're doing this for you guys, for you all.
Love it. All right, ladies, we'll see you later. Okay, who do we have next here? Do I have a cameraman out here? How's it going over there? Okay, I'll just keep going. Hey, ladies. How are you doing today?
Not too bad.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm here with Team 117, the Rescue Rangers. How was it a long day today?
Yes, very long. We ended up waiting for 2 hours for the enduro to start. So
that happens. It's always a rally.
Yep. But we're here, and I'm hungry, so looking forward to some more amazing food.
I love it. What was your biggest win today?
Oh, I think we got points at every, or supposedly points at every checkpoint, even the blacks today.
We didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I think we only skipped one black.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only skipped one of the blacks. So
awesome. Nice job.
Had a good day. Had a really good day.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy base camp tonight. Dinner will be amazing. Have a very restful night. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you later. Okay. Who do we have here? We have Team 131 in one of the lovely Broncos. How's it going, ladies?
Great. We had a fantastic day. Finally, we had a fantastic day.
Awesome. What do you think made a fantastic that for you?
Teamwork, just learning how to plot correctly, having confidence, not getting distracted with the other teams, just knowing what you're doing and keeping it going. And we've had 2 really good days in a row. We didn't think it was possible as rookies, but we loved it.
I love it. It's interesting how much of a piece that plays into it when you're out there mentally. You see what other teams are doing. How does that affect you?
It totally can affect you. You start to second guess yourself. You're not sure if you're confident in your actions, and all of a sudden you just say, "No, I know what I'm doing. I'm following my plot, and I'm going to continue forward." And honestly, our success is not looking at the other teams, just staying focused on what we're doing, and just keep going.
I love it. And okay, I'm going to pop this in for your driver here. What was your biggest win today?
The biggest win was really just getting this last road book. We were really nervous when we got it. We didn't really know what it meant, what the little words meant, but we put it down. We were able to get our checkpoint, and we made it here to base camp still in time.
Well done, ladies. I'm so excited for you. So overall, this entire rally experience, what do you think today is going to be your biggest takeaway from the Rebelle?
I mean, our biggest takeaway is, just be confident, have great teamwork, great communication, trust in your vehicle, trust in the Ford Bronco, trust in your sponsors that are going to make it through, that this vehicle can go anywhere we steer it as long as we're going the right direction.
Going the right direction is a good thing. How about for you? What do you think your biggest win will be from this experience?
The biggest win, especially today, was just like Catherine said, is just keeping our confidence and knowing that the way that we plotted is the way that we are going, and we are going to make it. And so we had a really rough day 2 days ago, and yesterday and today have just been great. We've kept our confidence, and we've stopped following other teams, so it's really helped us out.
That's awesome. I love it. Well done. And you both are rookies, correct?
We're both rookies.
Rookie team.
We're super happy to be here. You caught me at the dune a couple of days ago, and that was our worst day ever. And I'm so glad that we turned it around, and we're having the best time ever.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ladies. We wish you all the best. We will be watching, and good luck in Dune Day tomorrow.
Yes.
You're welcome. All right, we'll let them sneak up here. We're going to walk a little closer up the line so that we can keep our audio. Maddie B's giving me directions over here. How's it going over there, Matthew Johnson?
La la. There we go. It's great. I'm watching the drone footage. These lights are all on, and the cool looking light arrangements of the vehicles as they're pulling up, ready to chat with you. The energy around here is electric. Everyone's so stoked to be here in the sand, and having survived a bumpy and long travel day. But everyone's down here. The base camp is incredible. So when we started the marathon, i.e. Windy Day, actually when we left we left for the marathon, the main crew was able to come down here and start building out the tent and the base camp here for the last 3 days. We're going to be here for 3 days at this base camp. Tonight, before the big day, the final day of competition on Friday, day 7, we'll be here for Friday night, and then Saturday we're just hanging out. We're relaxing a bit, and then Saturday night is our gala. For those of you that know a bit about the Rebelle Rally and have been here for a while, we used to go to San Diego, throw suits on, and do this formal deal in San Diego after celebrating with a bunch of dirty vehicles downtown. And it seemed that people preferred to just stay in a tighter community out here in the dirt. So it's an interesting piece. We have extra showers brought in, and everybody gets to get cleaned up, and then we have a pretty fancy experience out here on Saturday night. So, honestly, I'm just filling some space and watching this drone cruise around while we're ready for Rochelle to find her next crew to talk to. But I'm happy here. I can be chatting all day. Later in the show, we are finally going to be bringing you that interview with Nick. He's head of the mechanic team. We're going to be able to hear about the chaotic beginning to his week and some of the really creative things he was able to come up with. Great. Sounds like Rochelle might have a new team to chat with. Rochelle, take it away.
Hey, thank you, Matthew. So I am waiting for Wonder Institute here. Just to finish up chatting with Emily. She loves to check in with the teams at the finish lines. But I wanted to pay attention to the Jeep Team 131 and kind of the process they're going through right now as they come into base camp for the night. So they are asking, they pull up, and then the officials ask to see their sealed materials, which is their iPhones, all their GPS things that they turned in at the beginning of this rally. So they physically have to pull those out and allow them to see that the tape is still sealed around that. They look at their sat phone and make sure that it's turned off. They hand in their tracker and turn that off. And I think that is about all they look for. They make sure they have their helmets. They can take their helmets off as soon as they pull into this line. So that's why you see these girls in the finish line with no helmet on. Those hats come on because it's pretty comfy. All right, we're just finishing up here, and I am going to chat with, this is Renee and Caitlin with the Wonder Institute team. They are in a Porsche Cayenne in the X-Cross class. Let's find out how their day was. Hello, ladies.
Hello there.
How are we doing tonight?
We're good. We're great. Thank you. How are you guys?
I'm doing fabulous. The weather is amazing. There's no wind. I'm just out here hanging out with teams.
It's very mild.
Yes. So so Matt just told me he chatted with you earlier today, and you took the 4x4 route. Is that true?
This is true. We took an alternative route. There was quite a train of rebels going in the same direction constantly today, so we took an alternative route. That ended up being the 4x4 route, and this one handled it like a champ, and so did this one.
Yeah, I see no damage on the car and smiles on your faces. All right, I'll walk with you, and I'll still talk to you. I'll try not to be too distracting here. All right, we'll let them finish up what they're doing here. Again, that's Team 219. They are in the X-Cross and decided to take the 4x4 route today, which is usually designed for 4x4s, not X-Cross vehicles. These vehicles do not have a low transfer case. They are normally all-wheel drive. But it looks like they did it, and they did it in style because this car is completely fine. So that is a really cool accomplishment for them. All right, Maddie B, let's pop back here. Yeah, Matt Johnson, what do you think about this awesome Porsche in front of me here?
I think it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of power. When we talk, some folks might be kind of wondering, like, well, why is this Porsche in X-Cross and the other one, 116, is in four-wheel drive? I've got Stephanie in the side of the screen here just posing for me in her latest outfit. It's so cool. A lot of folks are wondering, so why do you have two Porsche Cayennes in two different classes? Okay, the older design of the Porsche in 2006 had a transfer case, and that meant you could have a low range. So you had essentially a lot more torque, and along with that, it's built for more aggressive off-roading. You'll have locking diffs, more ground clearance, more suspension swing, and stuff like that in the Porsche Cayenne from 2006. This one you're looking at has an all-wheel drive system. It looks like it's riding kind of tall, like it has a air suspension, but it does not have a low range set. So essentially the differentials are static for all-wheel drive, but they're not as aggressive. They might have a locking center diff maybe, but not a locking front or rear differential as you may find on the 2006 Cayenne. Ask me again later if that didn't make any sense, but essentially they are a different setup because there's 10 years difference in these two vehicles.
That was fantastic information. I never knew so much about those two vehicles. So thanks, Matt. I appreciate that.
For sure.
All right, here rolling in, Team 160. We have our first Navajo team, which is awesome. I would love to catch up with them later, but they need to chat with the finish line staff here and wrap everything up. We will wait for our next car to roll in. Give me 1 second. We've got a Nissan Xterra here, Team 147. Looking on my list because there's a lot of teams to memorize here, which I have not done. All right, let's chat with these ladies here. Hello, ladies. How are we doing tonight?
Doing really well. We had a really good day. Yeah, it was really fun. We learned a lot of things this evening, especially with the whole going with the road book through the dark. Very exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think that was maybe planned, but you just got to roll with it around here.
Yeah, I don't know if it was planned, but it was really pretty as the sun was setting and everything. It was really nice. We enjoyed the experience.
Awesome. Now, can you remind me and the audience what your occupation is?
We're both seismologists.
Okay. Can you tell me what that means so I don't butcher it?
It means that we research earthquakes.
That's awesome. How has it helped you with navigation at all?
Well, a little bit. I mean, I guess we're kind of familiar with looking at maps and coordinate points and things like that. As far as driving from point to point, not so much. But at least like higher level, overview. It definitely helped.
Awesome. Okay, so I've been asking everybody this, but what was your biggest win for today?
Just making it to base camp. Making it to base camp, yeah. I think that was a good win. It was a long way to go, and we made it. So that's good.
Awesome. All right, ladies, I'll let you get up here so we're not holding up the line. Thank you so much for chatting, and we will keep an eye on you for Dune Day tomorrow. All right, see you, ladies. That was Team 147 in the Nissan Xterra. My cameraman left, so I'm going to throw it back to you, Matt.
Sounds great. I am here. I'm waiting on an interview we're setting up. We're finally going to get to chat with Nick, head of the mechanic team. Nick has a crazy amount of experience in the famous Rubicon Trail, where sometimes he's working with Nina Barlow and other adventures going through the Rubicon. So they've managed to fix lots of broken stuff on the Rubicon. And I hope to hear a bit about how that played into them being able to put Jeep 143 back together. We don't have to be in a massive rush here to present all these things. We're going to be on for a little while tonight. I want everybody to get a feel of what it's like here at the base camp. One exciting thing we had today, though, we got a new commercial to share with you about the new LX600. So I would love for you to take a moment and check out this Lexus commercial.
If you're wondering how Scrubblade compares to competitors, take a look at my friend Kyle over here. They look normal, but his wipers only have one blade and no scrubbers, so they're weak. In fact, you can hear it. Pathetic. Now how does that compare to the dual cleaning action of Scrubblade? Oh yeah. Double the efficiency, double the clean, and double the sadness for my man Kyle over here. Oh!
out here in the middle of nowhere in the desert. I tell you what, just like you treat your cell phone or your car when it's not behaving, we just shut everything down and turned it back on. It took a little while to reboot everything, but thanks for sticking around with us. Oh boy. Hey, I'm so glad you're still watching. We had some technical difficulties. We thought we were back a little while ago, and I gave you a really sweet apology, but I don't think you heard it. So part of bringing this to you live means there's a lot of little pieces in the chain. We treated this whole system just like you do your cell phone. When stuff goes awry, you just turn that baby off. Only we had about 30 of those things to turn off and reboot. So here we are, and we're back. So I'm really pleased to tell you that I'm sitting here at the stand here with Nick Cimmarusti. He's a head of our whole mechanic team on the Rebelle. And Nick, I was just in the process of asking you, like, what sort of qualifications would bring you to want to join such a chaotic event with unknown kinds of repairs that you're going to have to do? What's your background?
I grew up in Georgetown, California, which is the head of the Rubicon Trail. So I spent most of my life wheeling on the Rubicon and other surrounding rock crawling trails. That put me in touch with Nina Barlow, and I wound up working for her. Part of that process, I decided that I should open an off-road shop. So I opened my own off-road shop in about 2009, me and my dad together. And so in that process, started working for Nina, guiding for Nina, working on her Jeeps, and just spending a lot of time off-road doing all sorts of repairs. My wife is known to be rolling her eyes in the passenger seat while I'm out fixing somebody else's Jeep.
What I love about the Rebelle, like Chrissy and I are married, and she runs scoring. You guys are married, and your wife's here this year helping out.
She's on the safety team,
Yeah.
So when Emily started putting things together, her and Nina were talking, and Nina offered up my name as somebody that may be good for the mechanical position. And so I've been here since the beginning.
That was smart of her.
Oh.
It's been cool. We've seen you pull out some magic this week. Before we jump over into this week, I want to know how many times you and I were hanging out, and you told me I had a JL or a JK. I don't know my Jeeps very well, and you said that one had probably done the Rubicon 275 times or so. Did I make that up? How many times?
So I just sold my last Jeep in December, and it had 130 Rubicon trips
130 Rubicon trips on Nick's Jeep. So he's got the skills to keep a Jeep going long enough to do 130 trips like that. So anyway, we'll skip ahead a little bit. So clearly Nick has the chops. He's had to fix things with nothing out on the trail. Early this week, there was a lot of work going on. Girls just came here and were just letting it fly.
Yeah.
And you guys looked absolutely covered up.
Yeah, it was pretty busy. I think the most welding I've had to do on a Rebelle this year. Really put my welder through its paces.
I didn't get to see that, but is there any way you have a 220-volt connection, or is it a 110 welder?
No, it's a 220. It's a little 155. So.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Tell us the big thing you had to weld together.
The biggest repair was the front axle splitting in half on Jeep JL. It broke right at the differential housing. So part of the cast housing broke apart, and for anyone that knows about welding cast is kind of difficult. It's very brittle, and if it cools incorrectly, it just pops apart. So without having the right stuff to use to fix it, we kind of improvised, and we preheated with a propane torch as best we could, welded it as much as we possibly could, and then wrapped it in rags and tin foil and food trays and taped it all shut and let it cool for a couple hours so it would cool slowly. Opened it back up and plated it in every fashion with every scrap of metal I could find.
Well, it's hanging in there. We keep talking to them. They call their Jeep Turtle now. They try to use two-wheel drive as much as possible, but you guys welded the axle tube back to the diff, and then you had to weld the axle shaft back together as well. Is that right?
Yeah, so when the housing broke, it sheared the axle shaft also about 4 inches out. So we V'd that out really good. I did a root pass and a cover pass, and so far it's holding.
For anyone watching that wants to learn to weld, it's fascinating. I'm not very good at it, but my wife Chrissy is quite good at it. She does a lot of architectural welding. And chatting with Nick, I know just enough to barely keep up with what he's talking about. A root pass and a cover pass. That means 2 beads of weld, basically putting that axle back together on the front end of Team 143. So that's cool. What are you dealing with tonight? We talked about some rear dampers being blown.
Yeah, so car 151 had too long of rear shocks on it when it started the event. So
okay.
Instead of hitting the bump stop when the suspension compressed, it was just hammering the shocks together. So they blew out the first day, and they continued on, and they've gotten worse and worse. We tried to get them another set of shocks. It has a 4-inch lift. We decided better to go with a little shorter shock, so we tried to get ones for a 2-inch lift. They were still too long. So this morning we got another set of shocks. They went out on course with no shocks today.
That's why they were a pretty slow pace today,
right,
bouncing along.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to put some new shocks on for them. The Bronco Team 141 has had some drivability problems the last couple days that we've been having a hard time figuring out because we haven't had a whole lot of
heart. They're our only 40-30 team. They're such a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the 69 Bronco it's almost cured. It's ready to full power tomorrow?
We think we found the smoking gun.
Oh, fantastic.
Clogged fuel filter. So as we speak, it's being reinstalled. And hopefully that's the thing.
You just keep knocking out things that it could be and isn't.
Right.
So before we leave, we want to say thanks to one of our sponsors. Obviously, Nick has a lot of work to do, and he needs some good tools to do that with. And one of our sponsors, Wagan Tech, has a line of products that Nick is able to lean on for some help. Out here working in the dark, I would imagine some of these lights. Can you show us some of the stuff we're looking at here?
Yeah, so we're using both of these lights up top. The little flashlights are great. Yeah, so the little flashlights are great for every one of the techs out there has one of those small flashlights in their pocket.
You know my favorite, can I hold this light?
Yeah.
You know my favorite thing about this light is I can get to a red light.
Yeah.
And that allows me to tiptoe around and not wake up my child. So I like
yeah.
the red light, and it doesn't mess up your nighttime vision so much. So that's clever, and it's got an input and output, so you can charge it up via a USB.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about this one.
These are great. They're magnetic. They're really bright. We use them under hood a whole bunch, and they magnet on, or under the car, lay it on the ground, whatever. And they last, 4 or 5 hours, so a whole night's worth of work is great with these.
Ah, fantastic.
And the Power Cube here is a new addition to Wagan's lineup, and that's running all of our outdoor lighting currently.
Oh, you're just running your lighting.
Yeah, and I was using one for my heater further up the course, and it was working great.
Okay, I see it's got a normal output there of a cigarette lighter style.
Yeah.
It's got a solar panel input even.
Right.
Do you have a solar panel for it as well?
I don't have the solar panel for it, but I've been charging it up off my truck as in between base camps and then using the 120 volt to power our lighting.
You can plug in 320 volt items, put demand on this baby. That's really cool. So we'll swing by this light really quick, and then I'm going to talk about one more Wagan Tech piece before we move on.
So these are cool. I think the safety team has a whole bunch of these. And they're like we call them at the fire department. We call them turbo flares, but they're great for if there's a problem. You can stick it on top of the car, easy to find, or if you're on the side of the road, it lets people know that to watch out for you.
That's very cool. And then I see this. What is an Ion Boost V10 torque?
Yeah, so these are a lithium-ion jumper pack. So if your battery dies, you can hook it right up.
Hey, that was me today.
Yeah?
We shot my whole live show, and we left the ignition on in the Lexus. Not a Lexus problem here. User error on my team. We just left too many fans blowing with the ignition on.
Yeah.
It was time to go, and that is what got us started up.
Yeah, they're great. Everybody on the mechanical team has one in their truck, and I think everybody on the safety team has one in their truck, just in case.
It got us going in, 2 minutes, and there we were on our way from what a dead battery would have kept us there a long time.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Nick, I just want to say thanks. Literally, you are a big piece of keeping this event moving and knowing you guys can keep these teams able to come out and be competing. And last, before you go, how many hours of sleep do you reckon you got in the first couple days?
That's a good question.
It's not many.
Yeah.
He's probably too worn out to do the math there. But Nick did not get much sleep. Neither did many of his team.
Yeah.
How big is your team here, Nick?
9 this year.
Wow.
So we've got 2 returning guys, Michael Schaefer and Josh McWorthy. Then we have a new guy, Josh Daughtry from Georgetown, where I live.
All right.
And then we have some manufacturers that sent some help. So Rivian sent me 3 people. They sent 7 total. I've got 2 technicians that are both master technicians, and they're awesome.
Cool.
I've got an engineer and 2 engineers, one from Volkswagen and one from Jeep. And they're all just amazing. I couldn't ask for a better team.
That's fantastic. A lot of people think, oh, coming and living in the desert and eating in a tent sounds like fun. Of course I'll go. But getting here and getting the real vision of what it takes to keep all this going, and like, no, I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but we're not done. So of course we're still working. It's a rough wake up for some people that think they're going to come on a posh event.
Right. Yeah, I went to bed after we welded the axle together. I went to bed at 9 o'clock the next morning.
Nick, I just want to say thank you so much. We've been eager to get to chat with you all week, but you've been too bloody busy. I hope soon that your list is shrunk down and you can take a breather. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.
We are going to go hop over to Rochelle, who's in that finish line. Rochelle, who do we have to chat with?
Hey there, we have one of our favorites, Team 107. Just kidding, we don't have favorites here. This is April and Chelsea, sister team. They're just pulling in, and I think you guys drew lucky number for tomorrow's start time, right? I don't have a camera guy to see that, but the card says number 1, 7 a.m. Yes. And I heard your sister was really excited about that.
I mean, it's a great thing and a terrible thing, all in the same. 7 o'clock is real early, but get a good start in the day, and hopefully it'll go well.
Yeah, especially Dune Day.
I really like getting an early start on a dune day because I feel like at 4 o'clock I can't read the sand. And so I was really hoping for an early start time. That's why I'm so excited. And I just got my plot, so I can plot tonight. I don't have to worry about waking up at whatever. My sister's been making me wake up at 3:30 every morning. And so I officially hate her, but I have to love her still, so that's fine.
Dang, that's some serious sister torture going on right there. All right, you guys got to go get some fuel. Good luck tomorrow on your early start time. We will see you later. Okay, rolling in, we have a Tacoma team, 153. Bear with me here. They're going to go through their check-in procedures, unless they already did. Lisa already checked him in. Hi, ladies. How's it going today?
Going great. It was a long day.
That's what I keep hearing from a lot of teams. So last time I talked to you, we were at the marathon leg. How was Razor for you that day?
It was a challenge. We definitely learned a lot in that experience. The day started off a little rough, and then we were racing the clock a little bit. So we got it back together towards the end of the day. But yeah, it ended up being a really good day, actually. So, yeah.
Awesome. I love it. So let's see. What question should I ask you? I'm going to ask you, what was the best part of your day today?
Ooh, let's see. I think today the route was, there were a lot of checkpoints on the same trails, and so we just got them all, and it just felt good. So I feel like this afternoon was great. This morning was great. So that was probably the best part, yeah, for me.
Love it. Okay, one more question, and then I'll let you go. What has surprised you the most about the Rebelle so far?
How much of a challenge it is. I keep saying that. How about you?
I guess I would say that how we just keep things going. Like tonight, there was a little bit of, offset with the last Enduro, but we all kind of battled through, persevered. Even doing it in the dark, we got to use some of our other equipment we don't normally get to use. So I think that's just great that we just keep persevering through it.
I love it. Spoken like true rebels here. You just roll with the punches. You figure it out. We're always problem solving. Well done, ladies. You're welcome. Enjoy base camp. Get some fuel in that thirsty truck of yours. And we will catch you later. Okay, we're a little backed up here in the fuel line. I'm going to throw it back to you, Matthew. How's it going over there?
It's going great. Just sitting here holding down the fort. I'm really just enjoying the entertainment. I appreciate you doing all this great interviewing. Got Adam over here just slinging some awesome drone footage here of the evening. I tell you what I've started to hear are lots of laughs and people having a nice time in the tent over there. So, you know, when we wind this up, I'm going to go see how much fun's being had inside the tent. You know what? We're here in the sand. A lot of us, you know that our live show is brought to you by Lexus. I would love to show you a quick commercial about the new LX 600.
Life is more interesting when it isn't mapped out. When you have the freedom to drop everything and try anything. To follow your heart, not a script, and go where the exceptional is the rule. This is the power of the reimagined Lexus LX. Designed for adventure, it is entirely new, from the ground up. Fitted with a more powerful engine, yet retaining its legendary body-on-frame platform design. Designed for precision, it provides a pure, more seamless communication between you and the road. Or whatever road you encounter. Designed for the senses, the LX features a transformed cabin that brings unparalleled elegance to every journey. Enjoy reimagined VIP seating and intuitive technology wherever you are. To break new ground, to plant new flags, to live the life Uncharted. Because there are those who follow maps and those who draw them. The all-new Lexus LX. Luxury that knows no limits.
All right, I'm really pleased to be here with Team 128. We've got Beth and Holly here. I've chatted with Holly quite a bit this week, but now we've got Beth as well, the full team. Ladies, how was today? I've been told it was bumpy. Beth, was it bumpy?
It was bumpy, yeah. I definitely had to be careful today. I had a flat tire yesterday. Went through my spare then, so I needed to be a little bit cautious. But it was beautiful. It was bumpy, but if we took it easy, we were fine. The truck can handle anything.
So did you bring one spare to the rally?
I did.
Okay.
I know. They recommended 2, and I brought 1. And I learned my lesson.
And you're on, of course, some off-road tire. The truck looks like it's outfitted for off-road.
They're on some Yokohamas. Yeah, they're great. It was my fault we got a spare, just bad tire placement, not the tires.
It's good evidence. It doesn't matter how good your tires are.
Right.
If you get a tire, I mean, it could be unlucky. It could be you're reaching over to hand Holly something and you show the sidewall to a sharp rock. I mean,
that's what happened. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
you're
what happened.
Go with that.
No,
Did I give you that? Did I give you that excuse?
Nope. Went right into the sidewall. I was just rushing and tired, and I saw it. Didn't react quickly enough.
I know the feeling. Yeah, and it's funny, especially when we get used to driving in the sand. And a lot of the rocks in the sand, you can tell they're going to move around, and you can kind of run over them as needed. But once in a while, in the edge of the rut is that rock that you're like, oh, that's the gotcha
There it
right
is.
there.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
what
you're looking
happened.
away when it comes.
Indeed. But we got through it. We had a good day today. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think we did.
Now tell me about changing the tire. Were you in the sand? Did you have a jack that could get it up? Did you have to do anything dramatic to get the tire change out in the field?
Anything is dramatic with the truck. It's a big girl, but we had this great Pro Eagle jack, so it worked. It was fine. It digs into the sand. It can handle the weight.
Great.
We'd been training, so we were ready for it, and it was sort of exciting to get to use those skills, right? I mean, It was hot. We'd rather not have missed some of the next checkpoints, but we did get through it. We were able to recover, so that was a win.
Gotcha. It's funny you bring that up. It is like a time management strategy.
Yeah.
So the the time you may gain by trying to go in a little bit faster. If you cut a tire, now all that time's in the toilet, right? And
Exactly.
so you're working on, you're going backwards there.
Yep.
And then I think I heard from Jimmy. Did Jimmy come and check on you guys?
Jimmy's our guardian angel.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. It's great to know that people are looking out for us. So
Yeah.
we felt okay, but it never hurts to have the white truck just sort of lingering back in case we needed him.
Someone with an eye on you.
Yeah,
we
it's not
see
a
they
bad
haven't
thing.
moved in a while. We'll have a look
Yeah.
at them.
For rookie teams, it's nice, and especially given we're from the East Coast and this is all sort of new, and the expanse can be intimidating. So.
Oh my gosh, you just handed me the question I've been trying to ask all week. Are you both from the East Coast?
I just moved from Massachusetts to Tennessee, so yeah, still close
That's
enough.
still East Coast.
It's still East Coast.
I'm from North Carolina.
Oh.
And I was brought up like, East Coast, you're just looking at trees.
Right.
There's not many places you can see over a 10-mile view or something
No.
like that.
It's quite different.
And so did you do some practice navigation out here, out west in the deserts and such to kind of get your brain kind of configured for where we hold this rally?
We tried. We did come out. The truck was built by some guys in Albuquerque, tactical application vehicles.
Okay, in New
So they
Mexico?
had us out. Yeah,
Okay.
they had us out to work in the sand a little bit. Nothing can prepare you for the Rebelle, though.
Sure.
So I think we did as much as we could, and then we just needed to get here and go for it. So
Okay. Now, and Holly, you're the navigator, or do you guys switch seats sometimes?
Okay, I'll hold the microphone. Yes. Yeah, I'm the navigator.
Okay, all right, cool. So, yeah, when you're dead reckoning yesterday morning or doing other map and compass stuff, does it directly transfer from doing the same thing in like woodsy areas on the East Coast, or is it an easy adaptation?
I don't have an extensive experience with doing any of that even on the East Coast, but I would say no. The small courses I took, you kind of find something in the distance and head towards it, and then you leapfrog along. And I feel like I can't do that here because it's all the bushes look the same, and then you try to pick a path, and then all the 3 other paths join you and all look the same. So it's completely foreign, and it's been very humbling and a whole new learning experience that hopefully I'll get to continue to proceed with.
That's great. And that was a new thing for me as well when I came out. I'm like driving in the desert, and then like the road I'm on turns to another road, and it turns to another one. They're all kind of going the same direction, but it's really confusing. If
Well,
you're
we
trying to
don't
follow
know
ahead.
that though. That's what we're learning.
I see. It's taken me 10 years to figure that out. Yeah. Cool. Well, it was a pleasure chatting with you guys. I hope you have everything you need for a great run tomorrow here in Glamis. We're going to throw now to a 2017 highlight video.
Thank you.
Guys.
Cool. Where's this guy?
The most rewarding thing I think I had people say was that their life will never be the same. And these are coming from women who've done a lot of really cool things.
no technology. We have just each other. We have to find our way around the desert like crazy people, but I love the challenge. It's a good decompression and a good disconnect from the world.
The first couple days, anybody could do it. You know, the third day, you're like, okay. The fourth day, you're like, holy crap, we're only halfway through and we've got to do this. So you know.
Each day we learn new things that help us with the next day, and it's going to carry over to our daily life.
I wouldn't have changed this adventure for the world. I'm glad I'm on it. I'm improving every day. That's the way to go. Up and up.
I wish that I could convey to every woman, you have to do this. And it makes you realize how capable you are. Even if you knew you were, you're even more. I hope it goes on for a million years.
The Rebelle is almost indescribable. It is a life-impacting adventure wrapped up in an incredible, unique, and challenging competition.
Good evening, everyone. We are back here at the finish line of Stage 6 for the 6th edition of the 2021 Rebelle Rally. This is a live show presented by Lexus, and I have the privilege to sit down and have a chat with Team 145, Chris Fockler and Andrea Schaefer. How is it going, you two?
You know what? It's going great. We are having such a fun time, and we're hitting a bunch of checkpoints and laughing along the way.
Yeah, we really don't know what our standings are. We choose not to look.
I love it.
We just have a process. We go through it. So we're having a great time.
I love it. Emmy and Rebecca are like that, too. I think Emmy never looks, but Becca looks all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made a pact a couple days ago not to look, so.
Yeah. I like it. Has it helped? Has it kind of taken the pressure off? Have you had more fun?
As a navigator, I feel like it has definitely taken a lot of the pressure off. It's nice not knowing where we are, and we can just do the best we can without feeling the pressure.
Yeah, we think, process is the most important thing, and we don't worry about the results or the outcome. We did make the mistake of looking early on, like day 2. You can't help it sometimes, but that's it. That's all we care about.
Yeah. I love it. So, okay, you two have each done the Rebelle how many times? Remind me.
This is my 5th year.
And this is my 4th.
Okay, but you've never done it together, teamed up?
Correct.
Okay, so how is that going this year?
It's going really well.
It's going awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's outstanding. I mean, really. We knew it would.
Yeah.
We've known each other since 2017, my first year.
Yes.
And, we've been friends and slowly becoming better friends. So when it was time to find someone, she was at the top of my list. And I'm really grateful that she said yes. Of course, I was a little worried, but no, it's been fantastic.
Yeah. I love it. So, okay, I have a list of questions here.
Shoot away.
So I have questions for rookies, and then I have questions for people who have done the Rebelle.
Can we
a
have
lot.
rookie questions? No.
Do you want some rookie questions?
No. We can make up some stuff.
That's fine.
No.
I'm here for it. Whatever you want to talk about,
Sure.
we're here for it.
No.
Okay. Well, what has been your favorite moment so far of the 6th edition of the Rebelle Rally?
Snow in Titus Canyon.
Yeah, snow in Titus Canyon. Top of the list.
I saw you two when you got back from that, and that was in the middle of the windstorm, and you two were on cloud 9, screaming about snow in Titus Canyon while we're all blowing away.
Yeah.
We were. We've both been to Titus Canyon many times. One of the most iconic and epic places you could go in Death Valley, and to get it this year was incredible. But to be sitting there waiting and have a delay because of the weather, never expected that. And then to be sitting there doing the enduro, and I'm like, she's watching the rule book, and I said, "Is that snow?" She goes, "Yeah, I think that's snow." And I'm like,
Unfortunately, it was during our timed portion of the enduro, so we couldn't really just take the moment to enjoy it. We had to, keep on pace, but it was fun.
Yes, I love it. I love your guys' attitude so much. And I always love that when we competed, even against you and with you.
Yeah.
It was so fun to always run into you guys out on course, and just the hugs and the smiles. It was always very energizing for us.
Spirit of Rebelle.
I love it. It's fantastic. I think you two have nailed the spirit of the Rebelle.
Thank you.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, what was the hardest moment so far of this rally? Haha. I got you thinking on this one.
For sure, wide misses. I mean, you never want to see that come up on your tracker.
For me, the hardest was, wide misses, of course, because as the driver, it's heartbreaking when we work together and we get them. To have it happen, it breaks your heart for your navigator. And we don't switch, even though we both navigate.
Sorry.
No, please.
Also, timing out. We've timed out of a couple checkpoints. Just the day moves so fast on some of the days, and some of the trails have been pretty technical, so we missed a few of them by minutes, and that was pretty tough too.
And it's only so fast you can take. Even a rig like mine and my experience and go through there, that was heartbreaking as well too. And we had some mechanical issue too, of course. So
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that is always hard.
It's been so fun, we don't care.
Obviously, you're very, distraught by it.
Very distraught.
And I do apologize. I don't know if the audience can hear that train. It's really loud.
Well, it's wonderful at 2 a.m. That's my favorite time.
When we were driving into Glamis, I was like, oh, hey, I remember.
Yeah.
There's going to be a train at 1, at 2,
Two,
at 3, at 4.
We might get the U.S. Marines also fly by with helicopters. You remember in 17?
No, I wasn't
You
here.
weren't here in 17. Yeah, 17 we had flybys constantly. They were doing desert maneuvers out here, and that also in the half hour was a lot of fun.
I feel like that would be a way cooler sound than a train, so I'd be okay with that one.
Oh, it was pretty loud.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. What do you think? I've been asking this to a few of the teams, and I don't even have a really good answer for this, so I'm very curious. What makes you keep coming back to the Rebelle year after year?
Oh, gosh.
You want to take that one?
What is it?
So 2018 is the only year I missed, and it was hard. It was hard sitting at home watching it, knowing what you're missing out on. And I think Tribe Rebelle, I mean, these are my kind of people. So not being here was harder than I ever expected.
So it's the people for you that you miss, the community of it.
The experiences, just the whole event itself,
It's true. For me, the biggest thing is being able to help another team. I'm running a competition myself, but to be able to take a team that is ready to quit and to convince them to continue to go on, because I know what it felt like in that first year to want to quit, to see them complete and to do it just buoys me to keep coming back. And she and I both were out in 2018, and it was miserable. The text messages, the cries,
we had a whole group
why?
Rebelles that year that was going.
That's right.
Did you guys see them? Did you guys see them? And
We
we're like,
did.
all right, we're not doing this ever again.
That's some serious FOMO.
Oh.
It was serious FOMO.
FOMO, but
For sure.
forget it.
Yeah.
But this community, these people, inside and out, the Rebelle, all year long. Yeah, you just got to be here to be it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's not just
this
Rebelles
week.
Here for this week.
That's right.
It's forever.
These are lifelong friends.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
These are our people.
And I think about you two. I never would have known you or met you if I hadn't done the Rebelle.
Correct. Right.
and that would be really sad to not have you in my life. So
Oh, I feel the same.
I love seeing you guys every year.
Well, you know, and I've got, you know, it's great. I got Taylor. She moved like, I don't know, like half a mile from me. Of course, we haven't seen each other yet since she's moved. But
okay, we need to talk about that later.
We wouldn't have known each other.
Yeah.
You know, we've met all these great people, and it's been absolutely amazing. And that's Tribe Rebelle is what it's about.
It's not just about this week.
No.
Yeah. So you were saying something about the first year. You said that you knew what it felt like to want to quit.
Yeah.
So that first year, what made you stay and stick it out?
Well, the first year I did with my cousin Shar, and luckily I felt like I had my support human at the time with me, which was a cousin who I've known for many, many years. And it's just very, very difficult that first year. And I've been off-roading for many, many years, but to be able to come here and do this competition, you get beat down. Day 3, right? The famous day 3.
Yeah.
What made me not quit was, Emily's inspiration. And Tribe Rebelle. You guys had already done it the first year. Doing it the second year, there was people pulling for us and saying, "You'll be fine. Just get over the hump."
Yep.
And we did.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. So, what words of wisdom would you have for rookies or new people that are interested in doing the Rebelle?
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit. Just do it. Don't focus on anything else but your partner and your third teammate, and just don't quit. Just keep going, right? I mean, I think...
Yeah. Trust your gut.
Is that from a navigator's perspective? Trust your gut, right?
Distance
like
and
it.
heading don't lie. That's what Emily
Distance
says, right?
and heading do not lie.
That is true. And for some reason, we always have to relearn that every single rally.
true, right?
Every
At least I
single
do.
day sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we're like, oh, dang it. We knew that, too. Like,
We've made
should-
rookie mistakes this year.
For sure.
Oh, I think
mean, it just
everybody
happens.
does.
Yeah.
But
it's
you always have a good
But
good
we
attitude
learned.
about
We're like,
it.
oh, dang it. We should have known that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember last year, Chris, you guys didn't have AC in your Jeep.
Yeah.
hottest.
Shout out to Elise there that year. The night before the rally started, we were driving around town, and someone in the car says, is the AC on? I'm like, I think so. We started it without. I mean, it had burned in like 3 spots on the engine over time, or worn out over years, and lost all the fluid and everything. So the whole thing, Death Valley, was brutal that year, right?
Yeah.
We were like 110 degrees.
Yes.
It
Glamis
was
brutal that year.
Glamis was
110
brutal.
degrees
The
as well.
sandstorm year, right? The shelter in place year?
That was 2017.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
Last year was the hot year.
Last
was
year
the hot
like
year.
110
That's right.
degrees.
So that was awful. We drank everything we could, and we still, I got quite queasy in Death Valley. But yeah, I would not recommend doing it without an air conditioning.
Shout out to the girls that don't have it this year as well.
Yeah, shout out to some of our friends here don't have them in some vintage vehicles.
Yeah.
And I feel for them. Yeah, but it's cooler, thank goodness, this year. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
could have been
Awesome.
worse.
Well, yeah. Well, how are you two feeling about heading into Dune Day?
We're feeling pretty
Tomorrow.
good.
Yeah, I think we feel pretty good.
Yeah.
We work great together. We trust and respect each other and just had a great time. Dune driving is something that, I've built up over the years, experience. And with her top-notch navigating, I feel good. But again, we don't know where we're at. We don't pay attention. We just pay attention these days. So we're just going out there to do what we know we're supposed to do and follow a process, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
we're ready.
I'm really excited to watch you two out there tomorrow because I know you're going to be helping out a lot of teams that get stuck. And there are 52 teams this year, so I think you'll have some opportunities.
And I think we're second to last off the line.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
no
all
way.
week, it's the running joke in the rig is, if Chris picks, we're going to be first off. And it's held true. And that's gone for the last 3-4 years.
Happens.
So,
And if I pick, we're like last off the line.
so I let her pick today, and we're almost last off the line. So we might get to sleep in a little.
Well, hey, there you go. Silver lining. You don't have to plot
Probably not.
tonight. Do it in the morning.
That's right.
Well,
Have some
I'll
rest.
probably
She
still
probably
fly.
will.
probably
She's
plot tonight.
pretty
You can't help
diligent. Yeah.
I have some checkpoints, so I don't know that I could go to sleep without knowing that they're already plotted.
That's fair. I feel like my navigator would say the same thing.
I
She couldn't
agree.
help it.
No,
yeah,
I
she couldn't
can't.
help it. So.
All right. Well, thank you two so
Thank
much.
you.
Is there anyone at home you want to say hi to before we end this lovely interview?
Oh gosh, my kids, Carter, Carson, Eleanor, and
Your husband's
my
here.
husband
so-
is here. Parents, grandparents. Yeah, they're watching all the kids for these 2 weeks, so definitely thanks to them.
I got a shout out to my son Alex. I know he's watching. He's become quite a fan and gets really upset when I'm not on every live. So I told him to talk to you. And of course,
you did.
And I did. That's it. And to
Hey,
my,
Alex.
my
I'll say
parents
hi
were
to
taking
Alex.
care of him, but my son, I know he's paying attention right now. He's like,
Love
Mama, oh my gosh, she's there. So proof that I'm here and
Mom.
not in the Bahamas.
Yes, Alex.
And the sponsors.
And we got
Alex,
a
your mom's a rock star.
Thanks. And we have a shout out to our sponsors, right? So we've got ICD High Performance Coatings, which is my company, and Wagan Tech with the wonderful lighting gear.
Yeah, we love them.
We love them. They're
Yeah.
a fantastic crew. So we missing anybody else?
It's
don't
always
know.
hard to remember everybody
know.
in the moment. I do it all the time. Like, shoot, who'd I forget?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some.
I'm sure.
There's some on the rig that I've forgotten. So I'm sorry.
Well, to all, a blanket thank you to all of your sponsors.
They got us here. So
Yeah,
very good.
for sure. Awesome. Well, thank you too so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. We wish you all the best tomorrow. Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to watch you ladies. And I can't wait to hear about how many people you pulled out of the sand with
You
your
know
air
it's gonna
conditioning
happen.
on.
For sure.
You know it's good. Well, there's new rookies here who are super excited to get out their recovery gear, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I just kind of stand around sometimes and go, "You got it."
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to swap you out,
Awesome.
bring Matt back in here, and let you two ladies get some dinner.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Cheers.
The sport of desert racing or off-road, you have to prepare for anything. The only way to know if something's going to withstand the abuse is to go out and test it and beat the crap out of it. Knowing that you're living life on the edge, pushing everything, you're literally racing on marbles. And the intensity, and then you throw in elements of dust and traffic and race cars around you, and it's an adrenaline rush. Anybody that says they do it for fun is lying. Racing's an addiction. I believe in pushing everything to the limits. I believe in testing everything that I have that's in my arsenal. You have to take advantage of opportunities when they're presented. You have to pick yourself up when you experience something that's a failure and not let it become an obstacle in your way. Just have to rise from it and move on. I think this business is a little bit of a journey. You know, there's a lot of things that you see around here, but the reality is it's funded by passion. I believe I have the best team and the support crew and staff behind me. We recognize one another for the strengths that we possess, and then we try and harness that creativity or that energy, and everyone drives themselves to that next level by being able to lean on who's next to them to fill in the gap or do what they may not do as good as somebody else. To me, races are won or lost in the shop. You have a flawless day on the racetrack, and that's when everything goes perfect. However, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes in this building with prep and a maintenance schedule and our chosen list of equipment. There's no way that we would compromise for any associate sponsor or any supplier or any component. I have to believe in what I'm using, and I have to have trust in it. We've always associated ourselves and surrounded ourselves with people that are premium in their niche or their industry. I think it's extremely important for the customer to believe in the brand. You know, you have to prove the durability of your equipment at times, and when you go out and go racing, that gives us an opportunity to show people that the parts that we build for them off the shelf can also withstand race applications. And ultimately, our job is to make everything that we do better. My name's Nicole. I'm one of the owners for Total Chaos Fabrication. I'm also one of the drivers of the Total Chaos Team Tacoma.
All right, we're pushing along here as more and more teams are making it in. They're joining the fuel line, really, is what you see there. I just want to speak to that commercial really quick. Tomorrow is Stage 7, and our Dunes checkpoints and all of our Dunes scouting and all that stuff, and a lot of the scouting for the whole rally depends on the support of Total Chaos. They have been through their own proving ground over the years. Yes. And you could see that was a bit of an older race truck that I forget the name of it, and I feel a little dim about that because I know better. But lots of test and practice and breaking stuff and building it better. If you buy something from Total Chaos, you know it's already been through the process of being broken and rebuilt and redesigned until it was the right piece for the right job. And I'm stoked to have Total Chaos bits on my 4Runner as well. So anyway, and also I want to point out, in that previous commercial, you could see Emily Miller driving.
Yes.
She wears these black-rimmed glasses when she drives, and she did a race in one of the Total Chaos trucks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I know that her and Chaos preview the Dune course every year for this final day of Rebelle. And they're pretty stoked on tomorrow's course.
They help set the course. We're going to talk a lot more about Total Chaos tomorrow, but they help set the course. They're also a big safety contingent of being able to get our media team around, but also being able to get somewhere quickly if we have an emergency or anything big concern to respond to.
Yeah.
So there you can see the fuel truck at the bottom of the screen here on our massive drone shot. I'll tell you, I smell food. And I hear happy people inside that tent. Is right over there.
I know. We have just a little bit longer to go because we have not talked about the competition yet.
Oh, right.
And
Let's
what
get back to why we're
bring.
here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of a big deal. It's the last day. It's Shakedown Day. Everybody knows, and the Rebelle Rally is set up specifically for this reason, so that Dune Day is really where everything shakes out. So not only have these girls gone all week, done everything they have so far, now they get to tackle Glamis sand dunes.
It almost feels like all of the work through the week is to make sure you're in the game for the last day. And if you're in the game for the last day, miracles can happen. Even if there's a deficit, there's a lot of points out there up for grabs tomorrow in the sand.
Yes, and it is a tight run between, especially 4x4 cross, between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. I mean, we've seen stuff shake up all the way to 7th to 8th place, move on up to 1st place before. So it's only a couple checkpoints away that everything can change.
For sure. We've seen a lot of teams struggle with their time management, have some timeouts, even at green checkpoints.
Yes.
If you remember the way our scoring works, a green checkpoint is worth a big pile of points. You've got to get all your green checkpoints. And if going for a black diamond that's worth 8 points costs you being late for a 20-point green, which is way easier to find,
yes,
then that black diamond's not worth going for.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Tell us about how you can get lost though in the heat of the competition, and then realize that you've just blown getting to an important green.
Yeah. So our very first year, 2016, the inaugural year, I can't say that word, of the Rebelle Rally. My teammate and I at the time, we just got fixated on this blue X checkpoint, and it said intermediate sand dune driving, and we thought, sweet, we've just coming out of Morocco. I was feeling confident, and we can totally nail that and get ahead in the competition. So it wasn't so easy to find. We completely turned around and a little lost, and then just stuck for hours. And we were so fixated on that one checkpoint that we completely forgot that we needed that green before we timed out of it.
What I find interesting is if someone gave you that scenario that same morning, you would have said, oh, of course, you don't waste time on an X checkpoint like that. You just go nail your green if you think it's even close.
Yeah.
It's just funny when you're in the heat of the competition and with one other person, your teammate, it's easy to get kind of squirreled into this spiral into just like focusing on something that's not ideal.
It really is. I wonder what the story is with that tire. Sorry, I got distracted here.
Yeah, me too.
Team 122. What's going on there? I heard there was a little flat tire.
That's Kathleen and Angela in an 18 4Runner. We chatted with them earlier. And it looks like they've just gotten a tire repaired, actually. It looks like she's kind of bringing it back out to the truck or maybe bringing a flat to the mechanics to get a plug in it. Those easy to fix flats are the nice
Yes.
ones.
Yes,
We'll
they
stick
are.
a plug in that,
Just
pump it back
plug
up, and good to
Move
go.
on. You're good to go. So, yeah, circling back around to the competition. So 4x4 is going to be one you're really going to want to pay attention to tomorrow. Watch those trackers. There's going to be a lot of points scattered all over those dunes, and the teams cannot usually they can't physically get them all. I don't know how tomorrow's going to be set up. Usually there's a lot of choices and decisions for them to make. And then you look at X-Cross. That is a really tight race right now.
It is. It looks like any of the top 3, maybe 4, but really it's a 3-way race still. Competition, rally, not a race.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
I knew what you meant.
Competition.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited to see how all the teams do. I am pumped. It's going to be a good day. I can't wait to hear about all the stories of the girls that get pulled out and
so
stuff.
I live in San Diego, as is no surprise. We might have chatted about that. We've had a lot of rain recently, and some of the rain that was predicted, I was able to look at the radar, and it looked like it was raining out here, far east. And so I'm curious. Tell me how rain in the sand dunes changes things.
Yeah, rain in the dunes is awesome. I love it because it actually makes the sand quite a bit firmer to drive on. It takes a lot of the challenge out of it, honestly, because you don't have you're not sinking. Whereas if it's really hot outside, 110 degrees, as the day heats up, that sand just gets softer. And these are big, heavy rigs that are driving out on these dunes. Usually you see dune buggies, ATVs, UTVs. You don't see stock vehicles that you find in your driveway in the middle of these Glamis dunes.
The dunes look like so much fun, like a just huge playground, and you're just like, I want to fill up all this space and jump all these dunes and drive all over the place, and then you get stuck, like, I don't know, 15 seconds later, and then 45 minutes later you're trying to get out.
You're like,
and you
why?
realize that what we're doing with the vehicles we're doing with takes quite a bit of talent and experience of how to do that here in the sand.
It does, and we will get into a lot of that tomorrow, especially tomorrow morning. It'll be really interesting to chat with the teams and just see where their heads are at. Okay, I think we have one more interview lined up for tonight. So let's throw it to commercial quick, and we will get them on in here and get the show on the road.
This place tells a story through the color and through these formations that are completely unexpected. I started racing almost 2 decades ago, and the color of the desert Southwest is like nowhere else I've seen. It's so unbelievable. It's unforgettable.
I am really happy to bring to you Susan McBride and Heidi. Yes, in Team 133, they're in a white Jeep called Stormtroopers. Is it Stormtroopers?
Yep. It is. Emily actually named it.
She did.
Yeah, one of the
Okay.
trainings. She started calling me Stormtrooper, so kind of stuck.
Fun. Susie, why don't I let you tell the story? How did you and I meet? Is it, 2 or 3 years ago?
2 years ago, 2019.
Okay.
So I came out, got invited to this rally thing in the middle of the desert, and showed up in 2019 to represent Iridium and see how you guys were using Iridium. And This nice young guy came and took me out in a Rolls Royce in the middle of the desert. It was an amazing experience, and I met all these wonderful women and said, I just got to try this next year. Plus, Iridium is such a big part of it.
I was going to get there. So Susie was here because Iridium was a big piece. As you've heard, our Yellow Brick Trackers use the Iridium network to keep our event safe, keep it on track, and allow us to score it. Literally, we have to have some sort of support like Iridium to be able to score it. And don't worry, there's no favors given. Christy will be giving. If you get 0 points, you get 0 points. But so I got to meet Susie. She was out here with her son. It happened to be the same year that Elizabeth Williams was here. Also here competing, right? Yeah. Elizabeth Williams was here. She rode around with me. She works with Rolls-Royce. But I was able to take Susie and her son out and blast around here in the Glamis dunes, and we had a nice afternoon.
Yeah. And I called Heidi that same weekend and said, hey, you want to do this rally with me? And she thought it was a running race.
I did.
And so she said, okay. And here she is.
You're telling me you called Heidi the same afternoon?
Yeah.
And she thought it was a running race.
I did.
And said, okay.
Sure, why not? How hard can it be?
So Heidi, do you do a lot of running?
Yes, I'm a big runner,
Okay.
for sure. Do I do a lot of this? No, never.
Okay.
No.
I
do now, right?
Tell me about the running. Do you do those like crazy like long races?
No,
or-
no. Like
Okay.
I like to run. I've always been a competitive runner. It helps decompress and take away all the stress, right?
Oh,
Which I'll need
100%,
several
I get
long
it.
runs after this event to
Yeah.
decompress from all of that, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's a pleasure to see you both. Do you, Susie? Have you known Heidi a long time? You called her from here, so you must have been friends already. Do you live near each other?
No, we worked together at another company called OneWeb that also does satellite communications.
Okay.
And so we started that company together. Not together. We didn't start it, but we worked together there. And we've both gone into different parts of our careers and stayed friends. And she said yes. So here we are.
That's great. I mean, I hope that you were able to have an idea when you invited her that you were like, you're inviting her like, hey, come, let's test our friendship.
Absolutely.
Hey, I know we're like pretty solid friends. Let's just see if it'll test the real test, because it might fall to pieces, but it could just like make it even better.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, she's West Point. She went to West Point, so I knew she could handle this and dirt and grime, and she's good. So.
It's really fun. We kid about how like doing an event like this is like you're married to your partner this week, and you've got to work.
We've had a great marriage. No divorces.
We have lots of little babies. We've named
we've had a lot of
our
babies.
personalities in the car have names to them now.
Do they?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've got our Mr. O'Malley, who reminds us at the top of the hour of the time, our stopwatch.
Our little stormtroopers.
Stormy takes care of us. He always reminds us to put seatbelts on.
Yep.
And he's been really awesome.
We've got Eggster, our alarm clock,
Okay.
we got like all kinds of little pets.
I love it. You know, but having that, it's almost like you've developed your own language. And developing that language during the week, though, my point is that's just more and more proof every time you're talking and sharing the shared language. It's more and more proof that you're on the same page, that you're here to be a teammate, and that teamwork is what you're here and you're all about. I'm curious, how's the competition going for you? Are you achieving what you're after this year?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder than people think it might be. Really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both alive.
Yep.
That was number one.
Okay.
Rule number one.
We're finishing.
We're finishing, hopefully.
The wind and the chaos.
Yeah, one more day, but
Yeah.
so far so good. And we're still friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're doing, I think,
And we're
our
having
best.
fun,
Yeah,
right?
having
Those
fun.
were our three things, right?
Yep.
We want to stay alive, we want to finish, stay friends, right? And have fun. So 4 things, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
she's amazing. So she's doing
so you're
she's
winning,
amazing, too.
You're winning so far.
Yeah,
We've just
for
got
sure.
a quick, easy day in the dunes tomorrow and send you on your way. Tell us about how are you feeling about the Dunes Day? Do you find it a fun day or particular? I know it can be challenging for driver and for navigator in this situation. Do you find your teamwork gets additionally tested out here in the sand?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a real challenge. But it can be a lot of fun. If things go well, I think it's a blast out here. If things are not going well and you're digging a lot or you're getting lost, it's not so fun. So we're hoping to ride the middle, as Emily says, and maybe have a lot of fun out here tomorrow. And if not, we'll hit the greens and blues and come home and enjoy the celebration.
Well, before I invite you to say hello to some friends at home, I want to just clarify something in my head. I remember some news. Iridium, the network, launched like a load of new satellites last year or something. Or is there new capability that Iridium has gotten since last season is what's on my mind. Can you
so
clarify?
we have new products that have come out.
Okay.
So we have short, like devices that can do up to like 100 kilobits per second. So
Okay.
really good for like tracking devices and sending pictures and videos and things like that. So we came out with new devices that came out. Satellites got launched a couple of years ago, the
Okay.
new constellation.
Okay.
But definitely new products called the 9770, which a lot of our partners can build devices off of. And like I
Okay.
said, for the car, we're looking to what we can do in terms of telematics and tracking devices, drones, those kinds of things are all what we do with those products.
Cool. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Please take the moment, say hello to anyone you would like to at home that's helped you be here or anyone you want to thank.
You want to go first?
Go, you got
Yeah,
it.
I want to just thank my family for being very patient and very supportive this whole time. It's not easy being away. I flew out like 3 or 4 times to do some training, and they have been just wonderful. So I can't wait to see everybody and finish in the next couple of days. And I love you guys.
And same to my husband John, who's been extremely supportive and buying a new car and getting it, totally tricked out. My 2 boys, my youngest Carter, helped design the car with me.
Cool.
And Jackson came out to one of the trainings with me. So really, a lot of involvement from the family, and of course to Iridium for helping to support the event completely and allowing me to have the time off to come and do this little adventure twice now. So it's been a really great pleasure.
Mega, I love it. Thanks for taking some time. To be honest, we were talking about interviewing you the other day, and I was like, no, I want to do it, and I want to do it at Glamis because that's where Susie and I met. So
yes.
that's how that's how we waited this long to
So
have a
it's
chat.
your fault I'm here.
It is. It is.
It is.
So we'll let you guys go. Thanks for your time. Enjoy your dinner tonight, and we look forward to seeing you out on the course tomorrow.
Thanks, Matthew.
All right,
Thanks,
Susie
Matthew.
and Heidi, Team Stormtroopers.
Thanks, everyone.
Special space there. I haven't actually gotten under that lit area. That's such a special space there. Stephanie's been busy with this base camp.
She's been really busy. Every year it gets, more decorated, more beautiful, and especially it's gone up a notch because we used to all caravan back to San Diego on Saturday for the awards ceremony.
Yeah.
And now it's here at base camp in Glamis Dunes, which I love.
I love
really
it too.
enjoy it.
I think in a survey, most folks were really clear they didn't want to go land in normal person world. It's funny. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you're this in the dirt, going and interacting with someone who's not been doing what you've been doing all week feels a little weird. It's like you don't speak the same language or anything.
It does. It really does.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it's the end of stage 6. Here we are.
Stage 6.
We knew it was going to go fast.
It did. We entered the vortex and we're already at the end. So if you want to follow us on social, it's Rebelle Rally, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social things. And also follow us live at rebellerally.com/live. We only have 3 shows left, if I did my math correctly. Tomorrow morning we will be here bright and early to wish all of these ladies a good luck day in Glamis Dunes at 6:45 a.m. And that entire show tomorrow will be powered by Total Chaos.
Cool. Thank you, Lexus, for having us here on the live show. And tomorrow we're going to have our other partner, Total Chaos, supporting us as well. Thank you so much.
Yes. All right. I am ready for some dinner. I don't know about you. Our team is ready. They're yelling at us. So good night, everyone. We will see you in the morning.
Good night. Thanks for joining us.
Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home port in seconds.